I think he can hear you, Ray.
Don't move. It won't hurt you.
I feel the need for speed. Ow! So together we're the Three Amigos.
Right here. Stop.
Batman, what happened? Are you okay?
He's slimy.
It's getting hot in here. Is it just me?
No, go past this. Past this part. In fact, never play this again.
Hey, and welcome to After the Weekend. It's JT Gunn, Beard of Liberty. How you been, man?
Been pretty good. How about you?
I've been all right. I've had a weird week, a weird couple of weeks, I guess, is what I want to say. With the power outages all through Texas.
Look, if you didn't want to do a show, you could have just told me. You didn't have to call down.
No, it was crazy. Like, we were ready to go live, me and Beard, last Monday to do this Royal Rumble of 80s and 90s cartoons. My R2 is out. We're going to explain that later. But we're going to go live on Monday evening, same time, every day on Monday, 8:30 Central Time if you're new here. But and then within 15 minutes of that show, the big storm comes in.
Yeah, like you messaged me and you warned me. It's like, oh man, big weather's coming through. I might lose power. And like 2 minutes later, it's like I lost power.
Yeah, it was literally like, hey, I might lose power because this storm looks crazy, and sure enough, it happened. So with it was crazy rain on Tuesday or Monday, all that whole week. That was the second storm that hit us too. That's why I was like, this is not going to be good at all.
I know you're new to Texas and you don't believe anybody that's been telling you, but I don't remember it being that bad up in North.
You are the 100th person to tell me that. So, yeah.
I mean, even when I lived up there as a kid, I remember like one very serious storm. That's it.
It was pretty violent, and everyone in the whole town is like, because the power goes out, and it was nuts. But it's good to see everyone here. I'm glad I'm back. Hopefully, we don't have any more storms. So I'm glad that we're doing good. But Katz asked if there was any damage. Well, my house didn't really get any damage, but there were quite a few houses in the area. Trees that fell down on people's homes, cars, garages, just uprooted and fell to the ground, blocking roads, all the fun stuff. Flooding. it like literally rained for 40 days. It was intense. But yeah, no. So nothing too serious with us, thankfully. But there were some people around us. I'm surprised you didn't get any rain, Beard.
Yeah, I mean, after you told me that, I fully expected it because usually it blows down this direction, but no. I think
That's what she said. Michael.
Set myself up for that. I need to start like running things through my head first before I say them.
Yeah. You all talking Thunder the Barbarian here? That's a good segue. We are going to talk our Royal Rumble of cartoons from the 80s and 90s, but we're not going to give them away yet.
There's a lot, so we've only got a small selection for today. If this goes over well, we can revisit the topic again.
Yeah, we could. If you like this type of show, we can do more Royal Rumbles, and it could be just not me and Beard. It could be R2 and Beard. It could be R2 and me. It could be the three of us. It could be some other guest. So Who knows?
I mean, I think on Saturday, whenever I mentioned it, Joker Voice said, "Y'all talking cartoons?" And I'm sorry, y'all talking cartoons, and I'm not invited.
Yeah, well, we wanted to try the first one ourselves to see how it kind of went.
Yeah.
We do wish Archie was here. He's medically, what do they call that in sports when you're medically you're not injured, but you're medically benched.
Yeah. I forget exactly.
He's going through some stuff, so we decided as a team here to say, look, man, maybe you should take a break, focus on your health. So that's where he is tonight. But he's in the chat. Obviously, he's already cracking jokes. Whatever. No, I did not say that.
I'm kind of half surprised that we don't see him just like pop up in the back room anyway and start causing havoc by clicking.
Don't give him any ideas. Like seriously, like don't do that to me. Don't do that to me. But before we get started, real quick, now since you didn't get any storms, you had a fun Saturday night stream with Weekend Harder, and you had quite the red carpet of guests. How did that go for you?
It was kind of last minute when I realized that, this is a Weekend Harder week. And then I messaged you and you're like, I can't really be there for that one. I'm not really sure. And so I'm like, all right, well, I didn't want the channel to go without content for like almost 2 full weeks in a row solid.
And we appreciate that.
Consistency is, YouTube looks for that. So I decided to throw something together last minute. I had a great panel of guests, kind of all over the place as far as content
you had
creation.
Roman the Empire. You had
Roman was Alex. A surprise guest. He messaged me during the stream.
You had Alex from the Salty Nerd. You had Jacob Ironside, which you frequently on his show a lot. And you had Love It Ever After, and you all did great. So you all get a thumbs up. You get one of those.
Well, I fully credit my panel there because Roman can carry a show pretty much anytime. Alex obviously has a lot of experience doing that. He was taking it easy though. He's like, I'm not hosting. This is nice. So
he's a really good guest.
He jumped in for the Helldivers stuff, which is kind of one of the reasons I wanted him on, because I wanted to talk about that. And Love It is and Jacob are both just so like such good people in the community that they're always there to help out.
And Alex is like that. Alex is a good guest. I mean, they all are, but Alex, even though he's on a higher subscriber channel, he when he comes on down here to the little channels, he does a great job as a guest, and he's always very respectful. So I do appreciate that. So Rick says he's going to moon his he's going to moon his webcam.
If you do that, we're going to put it on screen and get you flagged.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No, I kind of felt bad for Alex because he the way he told me is he's like, when I sent him the invite, he's like, yeah, I don't think I have anything to do on Saturday night. Sure, why not? And then he did a 5-hour Helldivers live stream, went home to make dinner for his kids because his wife wasn't feeling well. And then like when he got home, he sent me a message like, how long do I have? I'm like, we go live in about an hour. He's like, oh crap. It's like, I might be a little bit late. So I felt bad because he was like rushing around and trying to hurry so he can get back to the office to be on the show. But
that's
really
Alex.
Appreciated it.
Alex is always helping out the other person. So he's always thinking about someone else, which is great. All right. So we're going to kick off here with our Royal Rumble. Now, the Royal Rumble that we were going to do is, like I said, 80s and 90s cartoons, where we kind of just thought about this on the fly. But so basically, I say a cartoon, he says a cartoon, and then we kind of say why I like the cartoon. We kind of debate about it, and then we say maybe you in the chat can help us decide which one's better, and then maybe at the end of the show, I think we have a total of 6, and at the end of the show, we'll put up a poll, and you all can vote.
We'll put up like the top 2 or 3 or something like that. Yeah.
Again, this is a pilot episode, so don't like make just. Yeah, we're the pilot episode. Okay, we're not perfect yet.
No, this was like an instant idea that popped into my head. When she said, what do you want to do for a show? I'm like, how about this? He goes, all right. Like, oh crap! Now I really have to think this out.
So don't boo us yet. Howdy, Rogue. How's it going? Well, I'm glad everyone's here to kind of hang out with us and see what we're gonna pick. Now, all right. Who wants to go? Who do you want to go first? You want to flip it?
Hmm.
Want to flip a coin?
Sure, we'll flip it.
Hold on.
I
Ready?
trust you.
So I got Tails is like a Minnesota quarter, and then obviously George Washington. So let's see. Okay, I'm not moving it. It's heads.
Okay, which one of us was that?
Oh.
Neither one of us called it. Pilot episode, folks. Pilot episode.
Why is the rum gone?
Yeah, we're drunk. Okay. All right, ready? Do you want heads or tails?
We'll tell you what. Just go ahead and jump into your first pick. We'll talk about that a little bit, and then we'll jump into mine.
All right.
It's
All
simple.
right. So from mine were all from the 90s. I'm gonna give you a little heads up. All from the 90s, and they're not like the the obvious picks, right? So there's some out there. It's not the obvious picks. These are 3 shows that I enjoyed throughout my childhood, and I'll tell you why here in a second. But the first one I'm going to give you, and like I said, this might surprise you, but this one I always thought was hilarious, and it's Courage, the Cowardly Dog.
Oh, how did I not? Oh,
Do you remember Courage, the
I
Cowardly Dog?
loved Courage, Cowardly Dog.
Yeah. So that's my first pick. Now,
Yeah, that was like, boy, that show got dark sometimes.
it did, and it was kind of a unique blend of like comedy and horror, right? Horror.
Mhm.
And it was a cartoon. All the ones that you could have picked. You don't like that show, Cat? It was
I don't know
very
why.
eerie. It had some supernatural elements to it, which I'm a fan of, right?
I like that
It
that one episode where it was the guy that was shaving him because he'd been naughty.
yeah, and he lived with his owners, which were an old man and old lady.
Eustace and Muriel.
Yep,
She put
and
vinegar in all of her cooking. I
uh-huh.
remember that show a lot. Can't believe I didn't think of it.
And he was very timid, but he was also very brave. Even though his name was Courage, he was always afraid to help his owners because the owners would always get into some weird things. Like I'm talking very eerie, supernatural events. Like they would get sucked into the TV, or aliens would come visit them, or
It
they
was
would
kind of
be
like a
captured.
kid's entry to like horror, kind of like the Goosebumps books were back in the day.
Yes, or they would be on the verge of death. Yeah, I know each episode was like very bizarre, um, imaginary plots and all that kinds of things. And the funny thing was, they liked him. They thought he was a good dog, but whenever he saved them, they never knew he saved them.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
They were just like, "Oh, okay, I guess we're saved," and they never knew Courage saved him. So, and the
Okay.
art, I remember the art style of that. It was very 90s Nickelodeon, right? And it was very kind of the same, similar art style to like Ren and Stimpy. Um, it was very artistic, right? And it had that 90s feel with the weird wallpaper. Let me see if I can like show a picture here of some of them. It was just very funny. Let's see here.
Yeah, try to pull one up. I'll try to put this up while you're getting something.
So here you go. So
There you go.
here's the like this is the fitness dude, right? And so there's his owners and the dog there, and but it's very 90s, very 90s. I remember
Yeah,
this one with the frogs. That was like they took over the house.
yes.
Yeah. Let's see here. But yeah, here's one. Like, what are they in? Like acid or something? Like, and the dogs, they're all freaking out. The dog's there. Um, it's just good quality. And that you could picture this old couple, right? That had a dog like this. Like this was totally
Oh, absolutely. Here,
You can
I
like
found I
totally.
found this one.
Oh, there you go. That looks good.
Yeah, that's the guy that was shaving Courage slowly in the middle of there. That's another weird kind of like CGI creepy character in the middle of a 2D cartoon.
Yeah. It was. That looks really weird. But it was a fun card. It came out in 1999, so it was on the edge of the 90s. But I do remember it very well when I was a little young. I was not too young, but I was just at the right age to probably appreciate it, I guess. But yeah,
Boy, you came out the gate swinging.
I did,
All
and
right.
you know what? I even have this. There's no sound, but because I'm sure we'll get in trouble. But I just wanted to show everyone the kind of like what I'm talking about here. But yeah, this is Courage, the Cowardly Dog.
Oh man,
Yeah,
that's such
I
a
mean,
good intro. Such a good cartoon in general.
he was such a happy dog when, and that's right, they lived in nowhere.
Yep, the middle
it-
of nowhere, a town actually called Nowhere.
that's right. I forgot about that, but yes, yeah, very, very
Eustace
classic.
doesn't like Courage at all.
No, no, they don't. I'm sure it's out there somewhere. It was on Nickelodeon and Comedy Central a few times, kind of late at night. So I'm sure you can find it if you want to watch it. But that is my first pick of the night. Courage, the Cowardly Dog. So there you go.
All right. Well, which one of these do I go in with now? Tell you what, let's do.
Well, whatever one you pick, I'm going to. Like I said, I'm going to put a poll up in the chat, and
Right.
we'll let the audience pick at the end. So there you go. So we got cartoon number one. So what was your cartoon number one?
Animaniacs.
Oh, okay.
This I almost didn't do it because it kind of feels like cheating because it was a variety show, so it's kind of all over the place and had like other miniature shows within their own show. But come on,
This was right there with Tiny Toons. Was it Tiny Toons?
that was earlier. Yeah,
Okay, but it was like the same group of people, I guess. But yeah,
pretty much.
Animaniacs. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
see, it was 93 was on Fox Kids, and we went to the WB in 95. But yeah, I still remember so much of that show. Great voice acting. Jess Harnell, Rob Paulson, and Tress McNeil. There's three powerhouses in voice acting.
Mm-hmm.
And it also, if you ever go back and rewatch it, there's a lot of jokes for the parents that the kids don't get.
What was it? Hello, nurse.
Hello, nurse. The one that sticks out to me the most, because I even caught it when I was younger. Stuff had been stolen on a boat, and Yakko tells Dot to go search for Prince, and she comes back carrying Prince, the musician, and he goes, no, fingerprints. Prince smiles at her all awkwardly, and she goes, I don't think so, and throws him away.
Yeah, I always liked how they they were like cartoons that were locked away, right? And they didn't want them out again. Yeah.
Yeah, they locked him away in the water tower.
Yeah.
Didn't
Pinky and the Brain come from them too?
Yes, it originated as one of their shorts.
Yeah.
They got their spin-off pretty early because that was also really, really good.
All right. So like the poll is now in the chat. So like whoever wins that poll, we'll keep going and see who wins at the end. So all right. So yeah, Animaniacs. I do remember the song. And can you do the song?
Oh my god. I can remember the tune. I don't think I can remember all the words.
Was it Animaniacs, right? Or something like that?
Yeah. I can't do it. I should have rehearsed because I totally would. I mean, back in the day, I even remembered the world geography song that Wacko did, but he took saying through every single country of the world, which of course
Yeah,
most of
Rick
those don't
says
exist anymore.
United States,
Oh yeah,
Canada, Mexico,
Mexico,
Panama,
Panama,
Haiti, Jamaica, Peru.
yeah.
Do you what year was this out? What year did this come out?
93.
Okay, so this was right in the right before right when the 90s got started.
Yeah, it ran for like 5 years, 93 to 98. Most of that was actually over on the WB, but it got its start on Fox Kids.
Okay, well, we cannot mention how we can. I don't know. We both have 3 picks, so maybe Beard has Magic School Bus.
And we can revisit this topic again because there's plenty of things out there. We can even
Yeah,
narrow it down to
we-
specific themes of shows.
Yeah, maybe we let the shows fight each other. It's like a playoff. You know, this show beats that show.
Oh, yeah, R2's right. We're Animaniacs. Dot is cute and Yakko yaks. Wacko packs away the snacks. We pay tons of income tax. We're Animaniacs. Yes.
Yeah, isn't
It
that
came back
true?
to me.
Yeah. Was it Spielberg?
Looking.
Rogue says, was it Spielberg?
Hang on. Let me stop sharing this so I can get back to my
No problem.
everything else.
Yeah, there was a lot of innuendos in there. I'm sure if Michael Scott was watching, he would say that.
That's what she said.
Spielberg wasn't the creator. I'm trying to see if he had any direct involvement in it. This was created by Tom Ruegger. And scrolling.
So we got Rick Archie says 3 best intros from cartoons. Thundercats. Okay, yeah, those are the obvious. That's what I'm saying. We're not going with the obvious here.
I might have a couple of obvious in my back pocket just in case. I didn't say it was obvious.
Just the WB cartoon. Okay.
Hey, look, I'm just reading what
Tiny Toons with Spielberg.
He says. Oh yeah.
Yeah, those were some good intros, but you know what? I always think they overshadow some other ones that were really great. Like there's some other intros that I'm like, I remember that intro more than I do maybe like, some of the other. I remember those, but there's others out there I'm like, I think I was more of a fan of back then when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, Darkwing Duck was a good one. That's a good one. Another Disney trio. So what other things did you like about Animaniacs? What was like? Why did you pick it?
It's just such a powerhouse. It doesn't overstay its welcome because it'll jump from it's like little sketches. Like I say, it's a sketch show basically. So you get the main story, or like when they wrote a 1-note or 2-note song, and they were being told you can't write a song with only 2 notes, and then they produced this whole big thing, just absolutely ridiculous.
Our Rogue says Freakazoid is what's better.
Freakazoid was really good.
We could add that to our list. DuckTales, woohoo, yeah, Danger Mouse was a good one. I remember that one. Now, right now, our poll says out of 5 votes. We appreciate everyone voting.
Yes,
Animaniacs has won over Cowardly Dog. So I'm going to end that. If you haven't voted yet, I'm going to end that here in about 5 seconds so we can move to our second cartoon.
I'll admit I almost voted for Kurt's Cowardly Dog. I voted for
no one
myself.
voted for mine. So I'm just gonna.
Did I ever tell you about the day that Steve Martin died?
Steve Martin's not dead, Mike.
I know.
That was a really strong pick. I wasn't going to come out the gate swinging quite like that.
You don't know my rest of my stuff, okay? All right, so we're gonna end the poll there. Animaniacs won that one, so we'll definitely take a note of that. All right, so
how about, since I got to respond to yours, I guess I should present first next, and then so you can decide how to respond to mine.
Yeah, we almost need like a mediator.
Yeah. All right.
Who built the walls, Beard?
I almost didn't pick this one. I had it in my back pocket.
Now again, wait. Before you say it, we don't know each other's picks, by the way.
Yeah.
So there could be a possibility we pick the same one. So
There's a lot of cartoons, so maybe not, especially if we're kind of dancing around, not necessarily picking all the main things. But I did see this mentioned just a moment ago.
oh, okay. Darkwing Duck. All right. Look at you.
I loved this damn show. I went back and watched a little bit of it, preparing for when we first were going to try this last week.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it holds up as much as I thought it would, but I don't know. It's got a special place in my heart. It's ridiculous. It's over the top. I thought his
Yes.
all vehicles really cool.
And that's like it was like it had that like do you remember that movie Phantom and like do you remember those movies from the 90s like the Phantom and like
Yeah, I think I read that one of the
Rocketeer?
inspirations.
It was like very like that.
Yeah, I think I read one of the inspirations was the old the Shadow comics.
Yeah. Did
Like
you
who lurks in the hearts of men, the Shadow
right, yeah,
knows.
right, yeah. And then he kind of had his own he had like his day personality where he was kind of a idiot.
Yeah.
And then he
Well, he
had
was
his
always kind of an idiot.
always kind of an idiot, but he was less of an idiot, I guess, when he was. And he had a robot. Did he have a robot?
Well, he meets up with Launchpad McQuack, who like is a super fan of Darkwing Duck. So he's built all these vehicles, and like he teams up with him, and eventually he Launchpad starts taking on that like cyborg persona. I forget the name. And then they'll team up. I think they tried to keep it separate for a while, where like they didn't know
It was
who
like
each other was.
Iron Man almost.
Yeah. But he
Now
also had an adopted daughter that was always getting kidnapped.
yeah, I couldn't remember. Was this linked somehow to DuckTales or like did they ever cross over? I can't remember.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if there was some crossover. But I don't think it was like taking place in the same universe necessarily.
Yeah, it was Darkwing Duck in
let me
the
see
same
here.
universe as DuckTales. That's what I just asked.
Oh, Gizmo Duck. I think it was Gizmo Duck. Yeah.
Gizmo Duck. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Darkwing was pretty fun. Okay. Now Rick is fact checking you here.
but he was. I think there was like one episode of crossover where Launchpad had to explain why he wasn't over there doing his other stuff in the other show. But
Yeah,
it was more of a joke.
He's just fact checking us. You know?
Oh, look
Yeah.
at this. We got a grade A suck up. Good to know. Good to know. Anyway.
Oh yeah, his daughter, the redhead. Yeah.
Goslin. It's
Yeah. And the villain was
she's
always
adopted.
like it was like a villain of the week, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. But he fought the same villains, kind of like Batman over and over.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. That's the guy from DuckTales.
Yeah, that's Launchpad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's it,
I-
Launchpad, yeah. And there you go. There's a robot duck right there.
Yeah. And I drew like the vehicles that he drove around and flew around so much, just like doodling instead of paying attention in school. And then he had this here, his like evil nemesis, like alter ego person. Like it wasn't really him, if I remember correctly. It was like actually like some
Oh yeah, he was
bad
yellow.
copy, kind of like evil Captain Kirk and things like that.
Yeah, it
And
was.
I have to make sure that
evil.
I have to make sure that I pronounce this correctly and everybody hears it correctly. As in the word negative, he was called Nega Duck with an E.
Okay.
Nobody come after me.
All
Or
right.
do I don't care.
Is that how it was? Okay. I won't come after you. There you go. All the
Yes, he always had he'd jump in, he'd say something like, I am the terror that flaps in the night. I'm the sticky floor of a movie theater. I am Darkwing Duck.
Okay. All right.
Voiced by the ever talented Jim Cummings. So there we go.
Very cool. Well, I actually didn't mind that cartoon. I do remember it though. I'm not like I don't remember like all the exact episodes, but I do remember it being a fun show.
Yeah, it didn't run for very long. It didn't really get picked up too much.
Now
91 episodes. Yeah.
R2 wants you to say something.
No. I'm not going back to that.
Why? Why?
Look, if it was my channel, I wouldn't care, but I don't want anybody coming after you guys.
Yeah, we're
Oh. No. No.
All right. Well, I too picked a superhero cartoon, but it's not what you think it is. So I went with a superhero that some say he had a sidekick, and he wore his underpants outside of his pants. So I went with Doug Funny, as my second cartoon. This one I always thought was hilarious. I related to this show quite a bit because he was in school at the time when this came out. And I was in school. And he had a crush on a girl, and he had some silly friends. But I love this show because it was just, his like day in the life and how he overcame, like if he had a pimple, or if he didn't make the basketball team, or if he was like made fun of, right? Or he was going to his first concert to the Beats. Yeah, the Beats.
Remember it was very slice of life before that kind of became a real thing that people got into.
Yeah, and he had friends like Skeeter and Patty Mayonnaise. You remember Patty Mayonnaise? I mean,
Yes.
how many kids in 1991 were like, I'm all about Patty Mayonnaise?
I can't say that I was, because I was never a Nickelodeon kid. For the longest time, I could only watch that when I went to my grandparents' place because we didn't have cable for a while.
Well, the classic version of Doug is a good show. They've re-released it on Disney, but
I mean, I every time I watched it, I enjoyed it. I just didn't get to see it enough to really get
he had such an imagination. Like, he thought he was a superhero. He thought he was James Bond. And the superhero name was Quail Man. He just had a lot of daydreams. Like, he daydreamed a lot. And
I mean, it's just like a kid would. It's just living a kid's life.
Yeah, and I'm not sure what color his friend is, but he's green. Skeeter's green. And then you had, I mean, this guy, looks like a current president, or should be president. But yes, this guy. But yeah, it was a fun show. Just a lot of memorable stuff. Like, even Roger the bully wasn't really a bully, right? He was just a kid that he's that your typical bully. Like, he would pick on people, but behind the scenes he was kind of just sad that he didn't really have a lot of friends, so he didn't know how to like interact with people, is really what that was. It kind of reminded me of, here's a group of them right here. There's Roger Klotz was his name.
So I do know that there's that weird theory out there that makes this cartoon really dark. You know that one, don't you?
Remind me.
That Doug is in the process of dying from a blood clot in his brain at a picnic. It's like there's mosquitoes, there's Roger Klotz, so he's got Skeeter and Klotz, and then you got Patty Mayonnaise because he was eating a sandwich, and then this is like him hallucinating before it gets real dark, and it gets real specific.
I know, I've never heard of that. So I put in poll number 2. So you all can vote on what, if you want Doug or Darkwing. Oh, okay.
Two good choices.
Right.
Two good choices.
Rogue was all about Pink Ranger. Okay. All right. I didn't watch Power.
I lied to people and told them that I didn't.
I was before Power Rangers. I wasn't a Power Rangers kid. I was Teenage Mutant Turtles or Ghostbusters or Ninja Turtles, or I was way before. So poll 2, landslide. Okay, everyone's not picking mine. Okay, that's how it's going here.
Oh, Doug was a good choice.
It was, but apparently everyone likes Beard better. So let's see.
Stupid fat hobbit.
Yeah, hold on. I know how to make people repulsed. Give me 1 second.
It's okay, everybody. I appreciate all of you. But mine has a good theme. They're all mostly from Nickelodeon. Doug was also a Nickelodeon. Doug was good. Okay.
There, the
Potato
weird power
Vampire.
has been subdued.
Oh wow. You do look
Just
different.
for a quick trim, you know.
You okay? It's still there. Okay, it's still there. All right. So right now, actually, this poll is doing a little bit better. We're at Doug 25%, Darkwing Duck at 75. So there we go.
Yeah, so far, I told you before we went live that there was kind of a through line with most of my choices with some of the voice actors that I did not intend to do. And one of those,
Yeah, I really
there were
didn't look
just so
that
many.
far into it, but yeah, I'm guessing
Yeah,
a
'cause-
lot of people in the '90s did a lot of shows.
yeah, so far, Rob Paulson has been in both of my picks,
Okay, who did he do?
and Jim Cummings. In Darkwing Duck, he did Steelbeak. Jim Cummings, of course, was Darkwing, and he was one of the Animaniacs. He was Yakko.
Okay.
And then, of course, Jim Cummings always did voices for all sorts of different things with
well,
Warner
Richard
Brothers.
well, I mean, I think a lot of people. I mean, you'd be surprised how many people actually are in these shows that you didn't know were in these shows. As far as voice acting.
Yeah, Darkwing Duck even had Dan Castellaneta as Megavolt, as he's Homer Simpson.
Well, Todd Cummings apparently was also on Kurt's Dog.
Oh, he is everywhere. That actually reminds me. There's while we're waiting for that poll to finish up, there's a movie called Comic Book the Movie, and it's odd partly because it stars Mark Hamill as a comic book fan, and a whole bunch of his voice actor friends are in it. So you got the guy that did SpongeBob, you got Jess Harnell, and a whole bunch of other ones.
Right.
And it's actually a really good watch. It's ironic though because Mark Hamill's character is rushing it his goal is to get to the stage at a big Comic-Con and stop his favorite comic book character from being bastardized and turned to a movie that doesn't represent the comic. And then in a few years later, he became that kind of guy in Hollywood. It's just like, screw actually being true to the source material. We're just going to make something anyway.
Yeah. All right.
But
so
it's
cartoon number 2, Doug versus Darkwing Duck. Darkwing Duck won 75 to 25. There you go. Mm-hmm. All right. Now my next pick, I'm going to give you a hint, is also from Nickelodeon, and I think Kat's going to like this one. It's from her neck of the woods. And this one was also kind of weird. A lot of weird things that happened to this character and his friend. But it was another day in the life. I enjoyed those cartoons for some reason in the 90s. Don't tell me why. I just did. So I'm going to go with Rocko's Modern Life. Now, everybody remember Rocko's Modern Life? It was 1993 when it came out. Another funny show, zany humor, offbeat, another weird humor, right? Wordplay, more gags. So as you can see the theme here, the animations was fun, very colorful. Mr. Big Head, the turtle. There was a turtle in the that was I can't remember his name. Mr. Lawrence, I think his name was. Yeah, he was fun. And it was his friend Heifer. It was a cow. That was always fun. And his dog. He had a very cute dog.
Yeah, I never really watched much of this. This was
very adult theme. It was like he was kind of a single dude, so he was like very social etiquette, day in the life type of things, like what you do at work, how do you go to the airport. But Mrs. Bighead is neighbors. How do you treat your neighbors? Yeah, Rocko's was not for children, but I watched it. Yeah. Yeah, I think he lived in New Zealand. I think he's where he's from. But yeah, it was a very, very interesting, fun show. I always got a kick out of his friend Heifer. Heifer did all the dumb stuff. It was kind of like SpongeBob before SpongeBob, right? Where you had SpongeBob, then you had his friend, his neighbor that was always kind of. I didn't really watch a lot of SpongeBob, but it was similar to that, I guess.
Ooh. You just got called out in the chat.
For what?
Wallabies are Australian.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I didn't know where. I mean, you're like, come on. It's like China and Japan.
Oh my God, she's gonna unsubscribe now.
All right, there's Rocco's. Yeah, so mine was Rocco's Modern Life.
Yeah, those early Nickelodeon cartoons definitely had a style to them.
They did, because you had Ren and Stimpy, you had this show, you had the other. Oh, I'm sorry, you had Courage the Dog, which I think was on Comedy Central first, and then, they all looked like this, and yeah.
Sorry, pulled up the plumber's pants. That got me.
Yeah, his Spunky, his dog was always fun. So,
all right.
So there you go. There's my third cartoon, Rocco's Modern Life. So, and again, I'll put in a new poll once you say yours. So,
all right, I don't know. This one's might be difficult to describe if people have never seen this show, because this is an interesting character. This is also kind of a slice of life, actually.
Okay. Oh, Johnny Bravo. Okay. I was thinking about this one. I almost used this one, but it wasn't my favorite show. But it was. I do
especially
appreciate this show.
Seasons when they were, because it was one of the Cartoon Network's cartoons. It's like when they brought in people to pitch shows, and they gave them like 10-minute blocks to kind of try them out. And then it ended up getting picked up for. I don't know if it ever. I think it eventually did do full-length episodes, but it's still stuck. I think mostly to like
the guy who guy who voices this guy, he actually does Elvis impersonations, and I think he did another cartoon where he used the same voice.
Jeff Bennett.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's basically like if James Dean is crossed with Elvis Presley. I was a inappropriate womanizer and never got a date.
He kind of reminded me of Joey from Friends.
Yeah. Yeah. Right? I don't know. It's such a dumb show, and it's really hard to describe, but because it's so simple. But basically, the episodes are he just wants to get a date, and so he tries and fails.
Yeah, and this was this also came out in the 90s.
Later in like 97, yeah. He had his mom. Let's see if I can find a picture. That's this guy was his quote unquote best friend that he didn't really like, but he was like a super fan of Johnny.
Yeah.
And that I think that's the character that was voiced by Rob Paulson in this show. So that was another kind of through line. His next door neighbor Susie is smarter than him and everything. Oh
yeah, Mark Hamill's in this one too.
And they definitely could not make this today, because there was something like one of the first times he meets Susie, she's like walks up, was trying to like sell him cookies or whatever. She's like, "Hey, mister," and he goes, "Oh, tell you what, come back, call me back when you're a co-ed." It's like, "Ooh, dude, that's a little girl."
I know, right? It's kind of like,
oh yeah, there's his mom.
Oh,
kind of a theme like what's her face from Married with Children.
So, oh man, just fun stuff. This is all so many different memories.
Yeah, and like the first 10-minute episode, actually they were like 7 minutes, whatever. Those first couple of seasons are pretty rough. It actually was Johnny Bravo and Jungle Boy. And they'd switch off telling a Johnny Bravo story and then a Jungle Boy story, but then they got rid of Jungle Boy because nobody cared about him.
Hey,
and
Nicole.
They ended up kind of readapting and changing some of the animation style, kind of updating it. And that's when the writing started getting a little bit weird. Like they started being more self-conscious about the humor. Didn't want to take chances. You got Adam West. Yeah.
Aaron here says that he worked with a guy that was basically Johnny Bravo.
That's awesome. Well, that's awesome for me because I don't have to deal with him. I like this.
He was Bravo. Okay. So this is our tightest poll of the night. Rocco is at 57. Johnny Bravo is at 43. So I'll give you a few more minutes to seal the deal until we end that poll there. But yeah, this was a fun show. But it's the same style. Like all these cartoons that we kind of like you picked Animaniacs, right? And then you also picked sorry, what was your second one again?
Darkwing Duck.
So those had similar like art styles, right? They were kind of the same. Mine, same thing. In the 90s, you either had that style of the Animaniacs type soft cartoon, or you had this where it was kind of hard edged, very simplistic, or it was kind of like humor. They were like, should kids really be watching this? But they didn't.
Yeah.
Kids don't know that stuff. People think they do. Kids really don't know that kind of stuff. They're just they kind of see past it.
Come on, internet.
You don't really get to. You don't really, when you rewatch these shows, then you're like, ooh. I didn't catch that as a kid, but as an adult. But
there's an episode where he meets the Scooby Gang and starts flirting with both Velma and Daphne.
Yeah.
At one point, he bumps into Velma, and her glasses fall off. But of course, that's her gimmick in the show is I can't see without my glasses. It knocks his sunglasses off, so she goes, "I can't see without my glasses." He goes, "I can't be seen without my glasses."
Yeah.
It's all just really dumb humor, and I love it.
Yeah, but kids think that's funny, right?
So, I think it's funny. I'm nearly 41.
Yeah, and like I said, it's just good humor. All of these are good humor. I think all 6 are fun shows cartoons to rewatch. If you haven't seen one of them, I do recommend watching all of them. Really,
I don't. I recommend not watching the Animaniacs reboot.
Okay, so I won the third one.
All right.
Rocco was 57, Bravo was 42. So Beard, this Rumble, you won. It was 2-1. So again, we reviewed Courage the Cowardly Dog, Rocco's Modern Life, and then I picked Doug. You did, and your 3 were Johnny Bravo, Animaniacs, and Darkwing Duck.
Yep.
There you go.
That's good. You know what? That's a good Saturday morning block to sit down and with a bowl of cereal.
Or evening.
Yeah.
Or Saturday night evening. Some of mine were evenings. I think Courage was an evening show.
Yeah, I mean most of these I think were, but I'm going with the cartoon theme. Don't.
Now we do have a honorable mention. He picked 4. Beard picked 4.
Well, I can save it because I actually picked. I ended up writing down like 8, and then I had to like narrow it down because I was that indecisive. So I'm going to save it because if this goes over well, we can revisit this like once a month or every other month or something like that.
Okay, so we picked, like I said, so you won the first one, which was Animaniacs.
Animaniacs,
right? And then and then you also did Darkwing Duck, which you won.
Yeah.
And then Rocco is the one that won mine. So everyone, I'm going to put another poll in. I'm going to give you 3 options, and you're going to pick the winner out of those 3. How about that?
Or do we want to put that on? Because remember, folks, we're kind of making this up as we go. Do we want to put that on X and give it like a day?
No, we're gonna do it here live.
All right, let's do it.
Everybody can vote now, and then we can do another one later on the interwebs. So So it's Rocco, Darkwing Duck, and Animaniacs. So yeah, I think that's how you spell it.
I got to close this window because I just get distracted chuckling at Johnny Bravo screenshots.
All right, so there's the poll, everyone. Yeah, see, these were obvious picks, and these were from the '80s. But you know, none of it. What's funny is we said '80s and '90s in our thumbnail. We didn't pick any '80s cartoons.
I have a few written down.
So maybe we'll fix the thumbnail.
Oh, Snorks! I hadn't thought about Snorks in forever.
Yeah, Snorks was the '80s. But we got Rocco, Darkwing Duck, Animaniacs. Right now, Darkwing is at 60, Animaniacs at 40, Rocco is at 0.
I'm going to stay out of this one. I am not influencing at all.
I will send everyone a penny if you pick Rocco.
He'll pay like 30 cents in shipping to get you a penny.
Yeah, Gummy Bears. Yep, Tailspin. Those were more 80s obvious answers there. But yeah, I'm going to have to change the thumbnail and the title because I didn't know we picked only 90s. That was pretty funny. Because we didn't know what we were going to pick, by the way. So maybe next time, Beard, we'll do 80s only.
We could do that.
Yeah, we'll do 80s only. Oh, Rocco's at 17%. I guess the bribe worked. And then we've got 50. Okay. Oh, Darkwing Duck is there now at 57. And Animaniacs is at 29. So we're
So the live stream's not going to end until everybody gets their friends in here and votes for Rocco, apparently.
No, we're gonna end it here in about 2 minutes. We'll give you 2 minutes. Now, while we're waiting for the poll to end, everyone, like I said, Rick R2 is on a break, so we're not really going to be reviewing movies because there's some movies that he really wanted to review, so we're kind of saving it for him. And then so we're gonna probably keep doing these rumbles on Monday. What do you think, Beard? Do you think these are good?
I like it.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know what we're going to do for the rest of the month just yet, so
we'll
might
figure it
fall
out.
back on this one. And I just realized my sign has been off this entire time. That's why it looks weird.
Okay. I was going to tell you, but I thought you were doing something special. Now, Deep Throat. What?
Don't engage him.
Okay.
Don't encourage him.
And then we'll probably keep doing the Weekend Harder. Beard had a good show last Saturday, which was great.
Still,
yeah.
I will give all the credit to the panel. They carried that show for me.
And then if you are new here and you're watching, please subscribe. We would love to do that. We just passed 400 a few weeks ago. So it'd be great if we could keep on doing that. And if you're here and you want to tell your friends about it, sure, please do. The other thing I want to mention is, if you want to support the channel anyway, you can support just by watching and hitting the join or hitting the like button. However you want to get a t-shirt, you can too at mixtees.com after the weekend -logo. And we'll take 20% off with the code of ATW20. That helps the channel and helps Mixtees, which is also on YouTube with the Pop Bros. So that helps them out. All right. The poll has ended. And Darkwing Duck won with 56%. And poor Rocco.
I honestly did not think that was going to go over well with anybody else. I thought everybody else could be like, that stupid show.
Yeah, we're at 404. Actually, we were at 406, and then I think we might have lost one. Yep. Oh yeah, but on DVD. Ooh. Okay. You said R2 wanted a specific. Yeah, we were gonna do summer vacation movies for the month of June. And Rick's kind of taking it easy. He's had a few little health scares. So we're just doing this fun.
Yeah,
we'll still do the summer. We'll still do the summer vacation movie, but there was a few on that list where he's like, I really wanted to review. So we're gonna give the good friends that we are. We are going to let him.
You don't want to be like one of my first couple of appearances on here where I picked a movie that you absolutely wanted to be there for and you couldn't. Can't remember which one it was though.
Oh, Rick's done that to me a few times. Summer vacation movie would be fun. Yeah, it's going to be fun. So I think those will probably go in August because we do have a special special reviews for July that we're not going to tell you yet until we figure out if Rick's going to be back. So we're just going to play it by ear here with these rumbles and see how it goes. But everyone, there you go. So if you like this, let us know, and we'll do more. And if you have an idea of what we could rumble about next, let us know too.
Yeah. So like when this is done, and you can get down there and like leave a comment there, so we can come back and see that later. If you want us to revisit this, and maybe suggest some other themes, maybe not 80s, 90s cartoons. Maybe you've got some other TV shows or movies, things that you might want to suggest. Let us know.
Ooh, 80s song rumble.
Ooh.
We don't speak of Ben and Jerry's on this channel, so we don't.
We can talk about Tom and Jerry.
Yeah, Tom and Jerry. We could do all kinds of stuff.
There's a lot of options out there, so I'm looking forward to the feedback.
Yeah. Nice cat. Who has a cat?
I think they're saying nice to cat.
Oh, okay. I was like, no one has a cat right now. TV dads for Father's Day. That's a good idea.
Oh.
Yeah, we can do that. Like what's the dad from Fresh Prince?
Phil.
Yeah, Phil. He was always scary. He always got really mad. Junk food of the past. Okay. All right. Okay. Well, we'll take notes of all these.
Yeah.
Anyways, there we go. That's the show of the night. We will. Oh, okay. Commercials. We can do commercials. Those might be hard though. There's a lot of commercials.
Yeah.
Manly commercials.
Mm.
Maybe you can be on the show for us to do those. Love it. All right. So everyone, we're gonna wrap it up. But it's been a fun hour discussing these 90s cartoons, and hopefully you enjoyed it. Hit that like, and we'll see you next Monday on After the Weekend. Did you want to do like the thing, Beard, where you like say an inspirational quote since Rick's not here?
I didn't prepare for that one. I was rushing to get back here in time.
Okay, I got one for you. You ready?
You're out! Doyle rules!
All right, everyone. You have a good night. We'll talk to you later. Make sure you share it out. Hit the like if you haven't done so already. We really appreciate it. And we'll see you next time on After the Weekend. Later.
Truck to refrigerators to dumpster, 360 spin onto the palace, backflip gainer into the trash.
This is it. Next. Big stuff. Just relax and have fun. Just gonna have fun with it.
Talking away. I don't know what about to say. I'll say it anyway.
I'm lucky.
Today's another day.